The World Cup is over. Yesterday, I watched the best ever game ever seen played at the World Cup stage. And you know what? Hey, maybe you help me out. One word to describe that game yesterday. But before we go into that, it's SportsConvos, right? And what we say here most often than not is we are not pros, but we are just fans crazy about the sport that we follow most times. Today in the building, I have two fans as usual. One is making a return back, and I have somebody who is making his debut on the show. But before saying so much, let's meet you guys.
Hi, thank you so much for yes, my name is Naz, and I'm very excited to be here once again.
Fantastic, Naz.
Thank you for having me. My name is
Temitayo and Naz. Fantastic. You know what? Let's get into it because there's a lot to be discussed today. All right. So, just like I said, the World Cup is over. I think, the best ever, and it's left for you guys. You can also talk to us back to say if this was the best ever you had witnessed. It was a World Cup with 64 games, 172 goals.
Yeah. The hat-trick in the final.
You had a hat-trick in finals. You don't get that in any World Cup. Now, the person who scored a hat-trick didn't eventually win the World Cup. Exactly. We went away with one winner yesterday. You understand?
Yeah.
We had 8 goals. We had 7 goals. In fact, the game yesterday would have decided who the highest goal scorers and the both, actors, in the game also delivered. But, my first question here is, how would you describe that game of yesterday, that final game between France and Argentina? Nice.
So my first line of description is, I'll go with a game of 2 halves. I mean, first 75 minutes, not a half actually. So first 75 minutes belong to Argentina. France didn't come to the party yet, but not necessarily France, to be fair. Mbappe decided that, I can't go down line like this. And he said, I have to do something about this. And 2 goals to take it to the extra time. And then it became a very open game from there. But I really loved that game because it had everything. Early substitutions, wild, tackles, there was aggression, there was the passion from the players and all, even the coaches themselves. The pre-match story, the flew with everything. 50,000 fans versus 2,000 fans as well. So consider all of that.
50,000 fans for the Argentina,
and then
2,000 fans.
That already feels like home advantage for Argentina in Qatar, but France did not allow that affect their performance. To be fair, affected them for 75 minutes, but after that, they came to the party, Mbappe in particular, and we had that very beautiful final, 120 minutes, very enjoyable 120 minutes.
Tim Tayo, your thoughts?
On my own part, I want to, it's an epic game. It's an epic game, in the sense that scripted.
Okay.
Let me so put. I'm seeing a match of France as a country playing a match for the first 5 minutes, and they never had something significant out of that match. Playing the other second half, and the first 20 minutes they were like tossing around, and to me it was as if I'm watching a movie. I'm seeing a movie that I've not seen before, and the actors were just doing the stunts and everything. But the later part of the match, I saw a new France that fought back 2-0 down and 3-3 on the 3-3 after the extra time. It was something epic.
Wow.
But seeing Argentina go away with the cup, painful.
Yeah, I like I like when you say it's painful, because you sound like a big Ronaldo fan, because there is that whole big conversation. But we'll get into that. But just as we continue to raise the bar in terms of what we're speaking about today, did you really feel that Argentina deserved to win the trophy? And now I'm not going into
the final alone.
I'm not going into the finals alone. I'm not even going to personnel on ground. Okay. But how they had played thus far, did you think
from the group stage, round of 16,
Argentina
quality of opponents?
Yeah.
I think France deserved it more, to be honest, if you ask me. I was here the last time and I said Brazil sure winners and France will join them in the finals because they're the two highest performing sides. Brazil got knocked out and France continued, and they didn't drop their levels. But basically, I think France path to the final two was not as hard as Argentina until the semi-finals, though. Not as hard as Argentina's, but their performance did not give you any reason for you to think that they were not deserving champions.
They're not pushovers.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not pushovers. They went into every match as favorites and delivered to their favorite tags. Except Tunisia. I mean, Tunisia was a ceremonial 3 points for Tunisia. I'm sorry, but yeah, France over the course of the tournament, they delivered. Their players were exceptional, even when they had problems, injuries before the tournament, the flu. The match against England, they didn't step up to the plate, but they got the result done. So I mean, you have to give it to them. With all of that, France were the more deserving winners, but the Lionel Messi factor is what you just tip it to. I'm not going to lie to you. Until the final, I still had my heart with France, and then when I started hearing, France wants to do back to back for where? In this, how often do you hear people doing back to back in World Cup? And then there's Argentina with Messi that he needs this trophy to end the arguments of all arguments. No, please just let Messi have it. I mean, I know he's GOAT, but he needed this one to just convince those that needed convincing. But
in my own opinion, I want to say, although France in the game was deserving of winning that tournament, but Argentina was not the people's favorite to win the tournament. But they fought their way through. They fought their way through all obstacles, and now we found them where they were, and they at the end of the day won the competition. You don't even need anybody to convince you. I'm not a fan of Messi, and I never supported Argentina during the finals. But they fought their way through. I saw that everybody had the eyes on France to get to the finals. So it's not something spectacular to me. Argentina was not a country. It was not the people's favorite. They were not even. They fought through all the stages. Yeah, they fought through all the stages. They almost even left during their last two matches, but we found them where they are and they won the match.
So let me just chip this in. Did you think the loss to Saudi Arabia spurred them up?
Not necessarily. I don't think that was a defining factor in Argentina's performance over the course of the World Cup. So personally, okay, back to the final. Yeah, the fact that it was a penalty that decided the winner, the penalty shootout. I mean, anybody could have won it, to be very honest. Yes, although Argentina had the superior powers in terms of penalty, superior players in terms of penalty, saying Martinez. Yes, no, just Martinez alone is a huge factor. Him in the post.
That's Martinez.
Yes, the goalkeeper.
Let's be clear, because there's Emilio Martinez and there's
Lautaro, and there was also Lisandro.
Lisandro too.
So Emiliano Martinez is Rora, but yes, Emiliano Martinez, he is a factor, and he has shown it earlier in the I think round of 16 and other stages that he's actually very good at penalty shootout. So them getting to that stage, it now made Argentina favorites. But then penalty is a game of luck. Anything can happen, and I mean today we are celebrating Argentina. Sorry.
Yes. Do you want to
let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead. So based on what you have said, and I think Temitayo, you had mentioned this, right? And it's a lot of people felt the game was scripted up till about like 75 minutes. France was not in the game until about then. No shot at goal. Was it a strategy? Was it that Argentina contained them, or really it was just scripted?
So I can see now you are seeing it from my own point of view. Yeah. Having them play 75 minutes and not even a shot at goal. It's something that is not France like.
Yeah,
it's not France like. So I was very disappointed. Let me put it like that. I was very disappointed finishing 45 minutes without even a shot at goal. Even let me even say a near miss. Say a near miss from France. I was very, 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 very disappointed. So I saw it purely like being scripted. Look at the penalty that was given to France. That penalty shouldn't have been.
France to Argentina.
That was given to Argentina. Pardon me.
That was the.
I can even say that was what killed the morale. They never had the morale. So
why I actually will not agree that it was scripted, because if it was scripted, I mean, the subs in the 20th minute have come in the 75th minute. The coach saw that these players were not up to par. As early as 20 minutes, he made 2 substitutions, which is very rare in a football game. Talk less of a FIFA World Cup final. You don't see 2 substitutions, not injuries, not collision, not head collision and anything. No reason, just for performance sake. And he knew that if he leaves that stadium without playing the players that he feels can deliver, he's going to blame himself. He's going to regret it. That's Deschamps. So I mean, 20 minutes on the clock, Giroud out, Dembele out. That man was not scripting anything. He said, these guys are not performing today, and you know what, don't worry, today's your off day, come and sit down. These guys are here with energy. Kolomani had a very exceptional performance in the final. So much energy. I kept watching him win the ball in the final third of Argentina's defense. Like, I was like, why are you so energetic in your pressing? I know pressing falls are a thing now, but Kolomani with pace and power, and then with the technical ability that he has, it was fantastic. So round 2 delivered, came to cause. He showed the subs actually showed the difference between why Dembele and Giroud should have been taken off as when they were taken off, which is so early and which is very rare, and another twist to the final.
To me, I want to say this. Benzema was ready after the group stages, and if he was introduced to the team to continue thereafter, it wouldn't have been a walkover like it was, like what we saw yesterday. That also supported the fact, my thought of being the competition, the game, the match being scripted, because Benzema wouldn't have given in for any flop or foul play in the team. Maybe that was one of the reasons why the coach never allowed him come up.
Come back to the team.
Because I am just, a lot is just going through my mind.
There's a couple of unknowns. I mean, if Benzema was one of the players affected by a flu, he would not play as well. If he was affected, enough to not start or not even feature in the final, he would not play, and then he will still miss his quality in the final.
But when he was certified to play, and it wasn't brought up. He wasn't even allowed to come.
So what we're saying here is, Temitayo, what you're trying to say is that you feel the game was scripted, and Nas also, you feel otherwise.
Yes, I feel. I know.
I was just seeing a little of
I watched that game, and it felt like France were having an off day until Mbappe said, "Guys, we can't." I mean, Mbappe had that Pogba's charisma of the 2018 final, the whole. Pushing everybody, yes, energy. He would even give the team talk, not even Deschamps in the halftime.
I want to believe to a reasonable extent that maybe at that moment he was thinking, don't let us people see it so glaring. Let's fight for it. Just fight a little.
So many different angles. So there are so many different angles.
Yeah.
So when I watched the game yesterday, that was the first time that I was seeing that even a pass between two French players, they were losing it. They were, they were best second ballers.
Yes,
if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Those passes yesterday, for the first time, I saw a Koundé who was very exceptional, being very lackadaisical in approach, and which speaks to what Tayo said. Was this really scripted, or it was a situation of fatigue or what have you? So
Deschamps said not so long ago that the psychological effect of the flu really affected the players emotionally. I mean, he said psychological, emotional of a flu. I don't think he mentioned physical, which is where I now have the problem. But I mean, if you're saying psychological and mental and everything, I'm like, you obviously point to a reason why your players didn't deliver on the day. But to be fair, I just believe France had an off day up to the 75th minute where things started happening, and 79, 82, we know the rest.
Temitayo, your last word on this, scripted or no scripted?
If we want to say they had an off day would have lasted for the whole match. But for us having 75 minutes of the match, they are off and they came on. at the later end of the match. Where were they from the beginning?
You have players from the bench that came to change the game. I'm not going to even talk about the 20-minute substitution. I'll talk about the Kingsley Coman.
Okay.
The other players that came on, the Kamavinga are left back. Those other. See, I think that's why I cannot even. France are so deserving winners that it's sad that they lost, because even their subs, all of them they impacted the game in a way. So it wasn't like the first 11. Yes, they knew they were going to start. They played. Some of them were impacted by flu and everything. But getting to that time of the game when all these changes started happening, and then it seems like everything built up to the 75th minute. I mean, I watched the game from 0 minutes and thinking, you know what, clear mind. Oh, there is no.
Are you now saying? Are you now saying the coach didn't see the game right? Making the first two changes that they made in the first half.
Yeah. Oh yes. I'll say. I mean, his own initial tactical plan was not suited for that final. Was not suited to contain Argentina or to handle Argentina at any point. When he saw 20 minutes, his attack was lacking drastically. He had to take off the two players that were there to be taken off. Obviously, you can't take off Mbappe, even if Mbappe wasn't there yet. Second half, okay, look who else needs to go. I mean, it's Theo Hernandez. I'm thinking, how is Kamavinga a better left back than Theo Hernandez?
Yeah.
But Kamavinga's performance in that final, I mean, Theo Hernandez cannot match up to that.
So thanks for this, and probably it leads to my next question, which is regarding the final match yesterday. Did you see the technical depth of both Didier Deschamps and Lionel Scaloni at play yesterday? I'm talking about the two coaches. You understand? You taking out the Angel, the Maria. Yeah. So you know, it's about 60 minutes, 20 minutes. You're taking out Giroud and Dembele. Did you see the technical depth of both coaches at play yesterday?
Just Deschamps, actually, because I mean, I felt the Acuna substitution for Di Maria was not good. Yes, you had to take him off for fatigue reasons, but you should have brought a different player on. I mean, I agree that Lautaro Martinez was very wasteful, but again, he's an attacker. Or yes, I don't believe you can't carry that bunch of talented Argentine squad and then a defender or a left back you're bringing for an attacker, and then it just stifled the team. And I would say it's probably a turning point for France, where France, now got more confident. They were more emboldened, started holding the ball, started becoming more attacking, and I mean, they came back from 2 goals down. That Acuna substitution was also a turning point in my own book.
Yes, I want to support that. One thing that the France saw in that match is this. Di Maria was very, very good at the midfield, holding the ball, and so at the moment when it was substituted, they saw the need for them to push. There's nobody that can. The substitute did not fit in what Di Maria was doing at that moment, so they saw the opportunity and they used it.
Exactly.
Can I say, I had said, and I'm looking at Didier Deschamps, one of his substitutes, when he brought Moani in and Thuram. Yeah. Did you see at that point, because I've always said Otamendi is short one. I always said, and it was a little bit interesting to see that, they were playing a French team with, that kind of firepower.
Pace.
And Otamendi was not, feeling very, very, like he was like the top dog.
Yeah.
Not until the 1-2 between Mbappe and Moane and that penalty, the first one, the penalty happened. Did you feel that gave the French team that impetus to, we get this first goal, we can get the second
exactly.
one?
That was the push.
I mean, not up to 120 seconds. This is 92 seconds between both goals. Now that's obviously,
that was the push.
I'll say ginger them.
To be very honest, I love that Mbappe's second goal was like, just a flip and no. That's why I say no bouncing.
So what someone was saying around me was every regular player wants control the ball first.
Yeah, it was, and it also shows the level of confidence that young man had. In the last show, I said the way Mbappe was running, people started saying that he will get to 2023 before every other person, But let me ask this question here: that final game yesterday, was it an Mbappe versus Messi, or
subplots,
or it was more or less, a team effort play out yesterday?
Yes. I don't see Mbappe versus Messi in that match. Reason being that both of them were not Messi. Yes. had a good play. Looking at the pass that he gave for the second goal, that pass was unique. That pass was unique. So I saw him more in the first half. I didn't see Mbappe in the first half, like the push that he gave to his team in the second half. So I see more of team play. I see more of team play than individuality.
Naz?
I think the same, to be very honest, because Messi, yes, as good as he is, he wouldn't have been able to do it alone. He needed the superior experience of Emiliano Martinez in the goalpost for the penalties. He needed Di Maria's experience in the first half as well, holding the ball. Well, sadly, he did not need Lautaro Martinez's wasteful finishing, but yes, all of that. And he needed Alvarez's energy up front as well, pressing. And also, Mbappe couldn't have done it when they had to take off his two initial comrades. Yes, Giroud and Dembele not doing enough in the 20 minutes, and then also Kolomwani and Thuram with the energy, taking the ball forward, pressing the defenders, pressing from the front. So those other players, those other second casts, basically pulled their weight and made that final what it was.
So yesterday we saw just like I would say, Messi topped as the tournament's player of the tournament. We got the highest goal scorer as Mbappe, and we got the Golden Gloves Martinez. Yeah. Honestly, who is really your player of the tournament?
I have a tweet saying is Mbappe. I think as Mbappe's second goal, I just picked up my phone. Mbappe equals GOAT. I was supporting Messi to have this final accolade, but over the 90 minutes, over the 120 minutes, Messi showed himself, but Mbappe was, over the tournament. No, Mbappe did not have an equal.
For this, I will have to set my
allegiance.
Unbiased.
No, unbiasedness. Thank you. Unbiasedness. Messi never had a spectacular match yesterday, to me. He never had a spectacular match yesterday, but Mbappe did something awesome in his second goal, and also his part for what France came out with in the 120 minutes of play. So I'll go with.
I can define this as Mbappe had moments, because for the first 75 minutes, Mbappe was lost as well. 75 minutes is a huge chunk of the game. If you are lost for 75 minutes, then whatever you do after should be moments. Moment one, moment two. Yes, he came back. Next moment, extra time. How many other times did you see Mbappe? I'm not lying to myself.
If Messi were to be in the shoe of Mbappe yesterday, Messi would have been confrontational. Messi would have been confrontational, and anybody that comes his way would have had his own portion of breakfast at that moment. But
Griezmann had a bit of breakfast for Messi. Yes, I can't forget that one.
Having Mbappe still comport. Mbappe for whom Mbappe is. Yeah. At that moment, he should have been off. But having him calm, collected, that's the scripting part of the match that I'm looking at.
I like that you're bringing back
this agenda of scripting is not going to end.
Having him being cool, calm, and still...
And then explode.
And still comport himself, then exploded. Okay. I want to give it to him.
Okay, so we've heard about three players. So we've gotten your Emilio Martinez, who is like the golden guy. So that's the guy who will be imposed, right? Yeah. And you have the highest goal scorer being Mbappe, and
second highest,
and of course the second highest, and the golden ball is Messi. Which other 8 players, would you add to these 3 that will make up the tournament, the team of the tournament? Now, looking from, we watched 64 games. Yeah. Which would be the person that would be in your defense line, because none of these guys, defensively were there, and who would be part of that midfield, and of course, maybe an additional striker, depending on the formation, the coach of the tournament. And again, I would also want to hear your thoughts around who do you think the coach of the tournament would be? Who's going first? Naz, Temptayo.
Let me go first.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know the order in which I'll answer the questions, but let's see. Coach of the tournament, I'm not a big Deschamps fan, but that 20 minutes substitution, it showed me a different side of Deschamps that I am not very used to. Right back, I would look at Ashraf Hakimi. Yes, so far he was actually exceptional for Morocco at least. Well, yes, for Morocco and the tournament wise, he was very good. One pick that I know people would not really see right now, but he's a player that did not come out of the group stage. Yes, Jamal Musiala.
Okay.
Up until the semi-finals, he had the most take-ons in the whole World Cup, and he played just the group stage. So yes, overall, he didn't have enough matches to be in the team of the tournament, but his performance shouldn't have been stopped at the group stage. But he had to go because his team did not perform.
So what role do you think
He's going to be in midfield. Just leave him in midfield. Yeah,
Okay,
he's going to be in
good.
midfield.
Yeah.
Who else? Let's see. Left back. Nobody really stands out in my book, but I can just go with Hernandez. Hernandez has a goal. He scored in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Centre back pairing. There were no. I don't know. The difference did not come out the way you would expect. I mean, normally we would have been talking about Van Dijk, even if they didn't get to the final stages. Well, yes, Van Dijk did not perform to us putting him in the group stage. Team of tournament right now. Midfield. Let me go back to midfield. Sorry, Amrabat. Yes, Amrabat's name was sung so much that you need to put him there. Enzo Fernandez, actually, I look at Enzo Fernandez as one of my boys.
So that was the guy who was the
young player of tournament.
Tournament.
Enzo Fernandez, I'll give him a spot as well because he was actually exceptional. Yes, sadly he had one own goal, not his fault at any stretch, but he also had a fantastic goal too against Mexico.
Yeah.
So midfield, we have Amrabat, Musiala, and Enzo Fernandez. Attack, we already have Messi and Mbappe. Who've joined them, to be fair? Maybe Alvarez. I don't want to go for Giroud because Giroud is like the peak. But Alvarez, that energy, the unpredictability, the goal against Croatia, to be very honest. Yes, Gravidor needs to be in the defense. Yes, needs to roll it back. Yes, Gravidor was an exceptional defender. Who's my second centre back?
Centre back.
Up in the air, I'll pick whoever you choose.
To a reasonable, I will need to have a rematch to decide. I will need to have a rematch to see the competition again to be able to say, because I can't release even for the Messi, the Mbappe, although the goalkeeper. No, I don't have a doubt about that. I don't have a doubt about that. The France coach, I don't have a doubt about that. Being the coach of the tournament, so I don't have a doubt about that. But Messi even being in the team, no.
I think this is your bias for Messi.
He's strong, so strong.
At a point, I was emotional. Seeing Argentina take home the cup, I was emotional.
Yeah, many of us felt that way yesterday.
I've not recovered from that yet.
So I think and it's good to hear from you in terms of, you really want to like rewind and watch the matches, but I think Gravidor had a good tournament.
It's very fantastic tournament.
And this is the first time, and whereby we watched a tournament that defensively the winners didn't do pretty well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, So I think this was an attacking kind of World Cup that no matter how many goals we concede,
the victors at any point was going to be who scores more.
Who scores more? Right. Yeah. Okay. So let me ask this interesting question. Right. So yesterday we watched a final. Irrespective of how it went, be it scripted or it happened, how it happened. But Lionel Messi went ahead to, at least I think one of the trophies that had eluded him for a while. Does this bring to an end of the greatest of all time conversation?
Please, Team Tiger, go first. Yes, you know my thoughts on this.
To me, that's why I let people know this is my own opinion. This is Timothy's opinion.
Happy to hear.
This does not still make Lionel Messi the greatest of all time.
Thank you.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Why?
Though he has gotten a trophy that he had ever wanted, or that he had ever desired. But still having he wasn't exceptional in the tournament. Ronaldo also not exceptional though. Not exceptional though, but I still believe it's still the competition for the greatest ever is still open. Though none of them can get the Ballon d'Or anymore, and it's surprising to hear that it's still possible because he won a World Cup to still be enlisted for the Ballon d'Or. No.
Okay. So wait. So do you still feel that Ronaldo would still make the Portuguese team in the next 4 years?
To him, he said he's not retiring. So let's still see.
Let's see.
And you know one thing about players like that is this: having them on the pitch, play, even when they are not in form, still gives the team a kind of weight. It still gives the team a kind of weight. And also some other teams fear that team because of the presence of that individual.
Okay.
Even if Messi is not in his peak, but him being on the pitch with the Argentine team still gives the team a kind of weight. And because of him, they might rate the team. You know, before the tournament, ask people how far will Argentina go because Messi was in the team. They will tell you, no. The team that I'm routing for in this competition is Germany. For me, it was Germany, Spain, Brazil, then Portugal. Portugal because of Ronaldo.
Not because they had a fantastic team.
Obviously, because of Ronaldo.
Okay, so I would buttress this point of what he said about them being on the pitch and them causing like being an X factor or like a factor to be considered in the results, in the final result of the day. I can remember this game, Barcelona playing against Real Betis. They were losing 2-1. Messi was injured, he was not fit, but I think the coach, I can't remember the coach, was it Martino? He put him on in 65 minutes and Barca won that game 4-2. Him with his one leg still scored a goal. I think he scored an assisted. That's the X factor of these two players whenever they're on the pitch, regardless of their fitness, their form. Class is permanent. Class is permanent. Yes. So going back to if this World Cup finally
sealed.
To be very honest, we did not need the World Cup to say if Messi is the GOAT. I'm going out there to say it because I think numbers work for him, performance work for him. You look at Messi, you look at what he brings to the game, you look at what he does in a game. I'm not putting Ronaldo down because I'm actually a very huge Ronaldo fan, but I do not like the recent everything I'm getting from him. It doesn't go what I'm saying. Well, personal decision again, yes. So Messi, on the other hand, yes, he's also human. He also does things that are not accepted by people. I mean, people were criticizing his reactions to Netherlands, Van Gaal and all of that. Yes, he's human. He's allowed to make mistakes like that as well. But on the pitch of play, what Messi offers, what Messi has always offered, how Messi goes by what he does. Now yes, Ronaldo is the closest comparison, but still Ronaldo doesn't match up to him, man. So the World Cup is just for everybody to know that, you know what, whatever reason you have against Messi, you don't have it anymore. But me looking at Messi and Ronaldo playing, I'm very sorry, Lionel Messi has always been number one.
Do you know why I wouldn't want to push for this?
Why?
The reason for me not supporting Argentina yesterday was because I don't want the fans on social media put it up to my face.
Yes, and see,
and it happened.
Yeah, and it really happened. I fought against that spirit, soul, and body. Only that I wasn't on the pitch.
They will tell you that Ronaldo doesn't have it.
If I were to have opportunity to be on the pitch, I would be the second goalkeeper.
I get you.
But unfortunately,
I understand that feeling. All right, guys. So and for our fans, you know, watching us on this, I know we wouldn't hear the last of this. Trust me. But hey, we've been on for a bit. Just hit on the subscribe button. You know, just follow us. And again, just like we say it, if you are interested on showing up on this podcast, happy to just drop your details, in the comment section, and we'll send you a message to join us on the next edition. 2 more questions before we go. The first is, did Morocco make Africa proud?
Very much.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Performance, the records, everything, even their defensive stability, their style of play is not African.
It's not African.
So,
it's not African at all.
No, you look at that team and you...
Even they came fourth.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
I was super excited they came fourth
no.
because one of my teams, Croatia, came third. So, and because I felt Luka Modric that was the best
deserves,
way.
yeah.
That was the best way, you know, he could retire
Say goodbye to the
international football. What was your thought, Tim?
I would have said it would even be preferable if Morocco had made it to the final than the France I saw yesterday.
You can also you don't know if Morocco we don't know if Morocco performs.
It would have been a better game than what I saw yesterday.
Morocco already missing Roman size, so I mean them with South size in the final is already handicapped.
Yes. So
it would still hold their
personally, and you know, personally, when Argentina defeated Croatia, right? Yes, my African allegiance to Morocco shifted because I wanted a very competitive final.
I routed for France.
Then I kind of wanted competitive matches from the round of 16. I wanted competitive match from round of 16. So from all the upsets in the group, I was like, you know what? Let the big boys come and play. I like seeing Messi versus Mbappe, or De Bruyne versus Neymar. I know now it seems like I'm putting down Morocco players by saying El Nesri versus Ronaldo, although El Nesri still came out tops. But I wanted serious
more physical.
No, not physical. I just wanted that technical. Big versus big.
If you beat me, you enter the next time.
Exactly. Yes, no problem. I wanted big versus big, but
not
a lot of upsets.
If not until the later part of the match, you wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah. To be very honest,
because the earlier part of the match did not really
just look done and dusted in the first.
It's just as if they were playing the Morocco that it wouldn't have even been like that. Morocco would have let in that loose to allow Argentina overpower them for 75 minutes. It would have been more. It would have been more professional coming from Argentine side, but I thought Morocco would have done better in the earlier part. But France, being France, they did what they did.
So my final question here is, and again, it's just for you, both of you, to just give your thoughts. Did Qatar do a good job in hosting the 22nd edition of the FIFA World Cup? Your thoughts, your final words here.
I'll give them 1,000 over 100.
That is...
Yes, they exceeded expectations, to be very honest. It made it a joyful tournament. I mean, obviously looking at the time of the season, not being happy about it, but right now, there's sadness in my heart that I don't have World Cup to watch. I'm very honest with you. Like, I didn't expect this feeling from the Qatar World Cup. And then the views, the stadiums, well, the officiating, but everything else, everything otherwise, I mean, the World Cup was fantastic. It was a fantastic experience, even as a fan from far away. Nigeria.
Even though Nigeria didn't qualify.
Exactly, yes.
I like to say that even though Nigeria
I kind of feel like it made it more enjoyable for me because, I
really support him on this. The officiating is what one would just have a little reservation in here and there, but seeing everything that we've seen, the technicalities, the preparation towards
the light show,
and how they delivered the World Cup. I think it was something spectacular. They did what we expect Qatar to do. Being an oil-rich country.
Exactly.
Okay, so that is what you go, or more. You see the money at work. So and thank you so much, Nas. Thank you so much, Timmy.
Thank you very much for having me.
For showing up at the shortest time, and we're super excited to have you guys here, but also looking forward to have you here again. So before I go, we're back to the La Ligas, to the EPLs, to the Serie A's, and SportsConvos. Yes, SportsConvos started during the World Cup, and this for us was just testing the waters. This show will continue irrespective there is World Cup or there is no World Cup. This show will continue, and we'll be going into varied areas of the sports circles, be it football, be it basketball, be it boxing, as it were. But just to know, EPL is around the corner. I know there are Boxing Day matches happening, and hopefully we would have something to talk about in the next few days. And with that, just as we always say, we are not pros, but we are just crazy fans talking about the sports that we love to talk about. So it's bye for now, and see you soon.
Peace out.